Yeah, it's Flight Sports. You already know what it is. Listen, Lamelo Ball is back. We're gonna break this down, man. This is an epic game going on right now as we speak. The Charlotte Hornets, they got their foot on Atlanta's neck, but listen, Atlanta, do not count Atlanta out for 1 second. They could very well be right back in this game. It is not over. Salute to all y'all that's in the building right now. The Charlotte Hornets is back. Lamelo is in the building. Lamelo is taking a seat right now. We don't know the minutes, the restrictions, and things like that. But this guy came back with a vengeance. There's been a lot of talk about whose team it is, who's the face of the franchise. And LaMelo Ball, continues to answer that call every time the jury somehow gets out. LaMelo was out for a little bit. The media, some of these idiots, they started really just over exaggerating the situation. Pardon me. Shout out to Rap Guy Reloaded in the building. Listen, we got the Charlotte Hornets live. LaMelo Ball in the building is 110, 114 is going down. It's Flight Sports TV. Um, it's crazy right now. Here we go. Um, we got a big putback by it was Alexander Walker. Alexander Walker in the building. Here we go. Sion James with the ball picked up by the Hawks. He's getting double teamed. He's surveying the landscape. He kick it to Miles to Con Knipple. Con Knipple in the mid range. They kick it back to Sion James. Sion back to Con for a top of the key three ball, and that's off. Diabate went for the save but couldn't recover it. Alexander Walker gets it. That's Ricochet, this guy with an offensive foul. Ricochet, just a little too overzealous. The Charlotte Hornets trying to hold on to this. LaMelo is on the bench. Like I said, LaMelo came in with 7 threes. I was not surprised at all. Salute to the great one. He says, I've been waiting for him. Love LaMelo Ball. So, yeah, we all been waiting for LaMelo. It's about time LaMelo Ball returned because it's just been a travesty. The Charlotte Hornets, they need something. They might need a little bit more than LaMelo. We just don't know just yet. But here we go. The ball is moving. Here goes Con Knipple. He pump fakes. Screen with Diabate. Con Knipple kicks it to Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges all the way with a float, and he misses it. Rebounded by the Atlanta Hawks. Here we go. Here goes Johnson. He crosses half court, met by Miles Bridges. Johnson all the way to the cup, and he converts the layup over traffic. It's a 2-point game, 114, 116. Jalen Johnson, 35 points, 13 of 21 from the field. He ain't playing no games. Sion James with it. They kick it out to Con. Con Knipple has the ball. Con Knipple went for a screen there with Diabate. He couldn't get it. Here goes Con. Oh, Con Knipple. The ball kicked off of Alexander Walker's foot. The Hornets going to have to throw something up. And Khan launches it from damn near half court and it's an air ball. Noble Knowledge said, looks like Melo figured his shot again. Yes, I mean, listen, man, LaMelo Ball is a sharpshooter. Point blank period. We all know this is LaMelo's team. I mean, there's no question. It's unfortunate that it was even in question. I was listening to all these people, Michelle Beadle and Parsons. These guys make their living off of shitting on LaMelo and the Charlotte Hornets. Here we go. Khan with a big 3-ball. Khan Knipple, 119, 114. The Hornets, they got their foot on their neck. They won't let up. Here goes Jalen Johnson. Khan Knipple with 26, 6 of 12 from 3. Khan Knipple, balling, and he playing defense. Ricochet for 3. He missed it. Rebounded by Johnson. They kick it out to the Big O, and he missed it. Rebounded by Sion James. That was a grown man rebound. Sion James with a grown man rebound. The Charlotte Hornets don't have to force LaMelo Ball into the picture. They don't have to. LaMelo is sitting down right now. It's 114, 119, 5:07 to go. Sion James soars in there for that rebound. That's what we want to see. Shout out to all the Hornets fans all around the world, all the people rocking with LaMelo Ball. LaMelo is back in the flesh. 7 threes in the first half. I mean, come on. LaMelo just getting things percolating. But I will tell you this, it means nothing if they don't get the W. The Hornets have to get the W, and it's a lot of time. It's 5:06. Brandon Miller had a good game, too. Alexander Walker. Yeah, Alexander Walker couldn't convert it. There goes Johnson. Johnson has it picked up by Brandon Miller. Here goes a double team. Con Knipple picks up. Everybody holding Johnson down. Johnson scores it. That was a big time bucket there from Johnson. Lamelo with 21 points, 13 assists. I mean, he turned up with the assists, y'all, especially coming into the second half. It seemed like he didn't go so aggressive with the points. I don't even believe he scored in the second half. Miles Bridges shaking and baking. Miles Bridges, he couldn't convert it. Rebounded by Johnson. Here comes the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets have the ball. They kick it out to Walker in the paint. Oh, couldn't convert it. Brandon Miller has it. He's crossing half court, met by Con Knipple. Alley-oop. Oh, shit got intercepted. Con Knipple has it to Brandon Miller to Miles. Miles, corner three, cash. Miles Bridges, big three ball. 122, 116, 3:55 to go in the fourth quarter. Charlotte Hornets, they trying to push. They're trying to push. Can they convert? LaMelo's headed to the scorer's desk. We have not seen the rest of LaMelo Ball. Johnson for three. He couldn't convert it. Rebounded by Sion. Sion James has the ball. 116, 122, 3:30 to go, and we got a timeout. 3:38. We got a timeout. LaMelo Ball will finish this game. He will close this out. Noble Knowledge says Melo could have over 30 if he wanted to. He's trying to get the team going. Yes, LaMelo, like I said, they try to put all this BS on LaMelo, and oftentimes it's not true. We know that LaMelo has some more development to do. He's not a finished product. As good as LaMelo is, the kid is still getting better. The guy is very young. I know that they want to make it seem like it's over for him. He can't get no better, but no, LaMelo's getting better every season. Now he has better pieces. He had time. Obviously, when you hurt, you're injured, you're able to survey the landscape, and that's what I believe LaMelo has been doing, surveying the landscape. Now he knows how to attack, what to do, and you seeing it firsthand. The way he played today, it felt like he was just caged up, and he just wanted to just unleash himself. That's what I seen from LaMelo tonight. He just completely unleashed himself. Give major props to LaMelo Ball. And these Hornets, man, they're killing. This is a big time game from the Charlotte Hornets, man. 116, 122. Beating Atlanta tonight will be big for them. I mean, the Hornets need a win. They're not even that far off from postseason play. So I mean, give these guys props. Just give them props, y'all. The Charlotte Hornets is back. LaMelo Ball is live. This is what we want to see. The Charlotte Hornets, they got to get their act right. We all know this. The Charlotte Hornets is levels that they need to get to. And listen, Charles Lee got to roll up his sleeve. You got LaMelo cooking like this. He's showing you what he could do as a point guard. As the head of the table. You got all of these weapons. You have to put everybody in position. That's what we have to see from this regime of the Charlotte Hornets. See, I got to is improved players. They should be better. They should not be at the bottom of the barrel. They should be where some of these other teams are. So Charles Lee got to do it. I mean, what the hell was he hired for? You got a nice young pieces, pardon me, a nice collection of talent that they just drafted in here. You got to cultivate that. You got to make sure everything, the pot is right. LaMelo is back, y'all. 116, 122. LaMelo's here to close this game. Let's see what happens. The Charlotte Hornets alive. It's always good to see LaMelo back, man. Nobody want to see LaMelo on the goddamn bench and not playing. I mean, that's a travesty. Jalen Johnson, 37 points, 14 to 23. That's big time. The Charlotte Hornets is live. That's what we want to see from the Hornets, y'all. LaMelo has returned. LaMelo has returned. These injuries that we all know has been crazy. We got to put these injuries behind us. It's only right. Salute to everybody in the chat. We got Charlotte Hornets basketball. It's going down. And we got Johnson out here hot as fish grease. How can the Charlotte Hornets cool him down? That's going to be key. But LaMelo is back. Salute to the Hornets fans around the world. Let's see if LaMelo can help close this deal. I got confidence in him. Here we go. Johnson with the rock. Johnson has it. Shaking and baking with Khan Knipple picking up Johnson. They kick it to Alexander Walker for three. He missed it. Johnson couldn't convert it. Nearly just hurt himself. Hornets playing D, man. Khan Knipple showing he's definitely more than the shooter. He's going to get out there and lock something down. 116, 122. Unbelievable. What a game. 3:15 to go in the fourth. Crazy game right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat. If you're in here, please hit the like button. You know, it helps out a lot. Don't cost nothing to hit the like button to show support. You know, Flight Sports, we need all the support we can get. The Hornets are back. Lamelo is here. That's what we want to see, right? Isn't this what the people been waiting on? You know, Hornets basketball, Lamelo Ball returning, you know, with a vengeance. The NBA is so much better when Lamelo is playing. You know, the Ball brothers, like I said, it's been another tough year. You know, injuries has definitely been relevant again. But, you know, even Lonzo, you know, he's playing pretty decent out there in Cleveland. I mean, obviously it could be a little bit better. But it is what it is. Right now, the Charlotte Hornets, they talented. And what I don't like what the media try to do is make it seem like just because you have a good player on the Hornets, we need to belittle the other players that's on the Hornets. We got to cut all that out. You know, we have to. You know, the Charlotte Hornets, man, they need all the good. They need all these pieces. So I'm not gonna sit up here and just make it seem like somebody got to go or this and that. You know, it's just crazy. Lamelo, when are we gonna have an issue? Because Lamelo has a talented player. He's a point guard. He's supposed to have talent on the floor with him. There we go. Lamelo has it. Inbound. Lamelo got the rock. Here comes the defense. Lamelo shaking and baking. They might need some heroics to finish this game. Lamelo kicks it. Oh man, a turnover. Backcourt violation by Lamelo. So now that things are getting tough. Like I said, this is another thing about Lamelo. Lamelo had a really good game, you know, but now you have to close the game. There's no way that you can have a situation where you blow this game. You know, that would just be completely devastating if you're the Charlotte Hornets. You cannot blow this game. Johnson just hit a three for the Atlanta Hawks. It's crazy. This guy Johnson got 26, so he's answering the call. You know, LaMelo fired away. He had 21 in the first half. Here comes Johnson. Shout out to Knowledge. He says everybody's saying Khan is the best player on the team. They must have forgot. Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, that's just the media trying to separate LaMelo from his teammates. You know, that's a good thing. We should be applauding that we got good players. I hope we got multiple All-Stars on the Hornets. Just because it's a good player, that doesn't mean that we need to belittle LaMelo. They need to stop that. You know, they try to separate them. You know, but here we go. LaMelo with the ball. LaMelo has it going all the way to the cup, and he scores it in the clutch layup. Hornets needed that. Melo got 23 points, 8 of 13 from the field. His efficiency is up. So, I mean, he did everything right. I mean, hopefully they can win. That's the thing. There we go. They got to stop there. Brandon Miller went there and got that steal. They need to give it to LaMelo. Brandon Miller wanted the ball in LaMelo's hands, but it looked like Melo wants to do something. When you got Melo this efficient, this hot, let him set up everything. Give him the basketball. This is a travesty. Here we go. LaMelo with it. Going back to the cup. He went for the floater, but he kicked it to Khan. Khan has it. They kick it to Miller. Top of the key three, and that's off. Rebounded by the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks down three. Alexander Walker picked up by Khan Knipple. Alexander Walker goes baseline. They kick it out. Johnson for three, and that's off. Hornets get a break. Rebounded by Miles Bridges. Hornets needed that. Here we go. LaMelo has the ball. He's crossing half court. 110 in the fourth. 121, 124. What is LaMelo Ball and the Hornets going to do? LaMelo has it, shaking and baking. LaMelo. LaMelo has it. Screen. It's crazy. Here we go. Crazy. 123, 126. There we go. 3-point game. Hornets got to hold on to this thing. Let's see if they could do it. LaMelo has it. They got who's this on LaMelo? I don't know who this guy is picking up Melo. They sending different looks. Five said LaMelo going for the dagger. Can he get it? Step back three. Woo! LaMelo Ball. MB1, the one of one, puts the dagger in the Atlanta Hawks. LaMelo is back. Enough of the questions of who's this and who's that. LaMelo just sealed the deal for the Charlotte Hornets. That is game. LaMelo just finishes off the Atlanta Hawks. LaMelo finishes off the Atlanta Hawks, ladies and gentlemen, with that big three ball, letting everybody know what it's all about. It's LaMelo. It's LaMelo's team, ladies and gentlemen. Con Knipple knows it. This is the same thing they tried to do with Brandon Miller. And what I like about LaMelo, what I see different from and it's crazy, he did his man Big O like that. There's a lot of history there between these two. I would love for them to figure out a way to get him on the Charlotte Hornets. To be honest with you, that'd be a good look. But all this talk about LaMelo, man, that don't make no sense. And I like they just took LaMelo out for defensive purposes. LaMelo did his thing. He need to play like that every single night. Efficiency wise, I mean, his efficiency was through the roof. That's what you want to see. If LaMelo is that efficient, there's nothing that the defense could do. That's some things that LaMelo do. He get himself caught up where his efficiency may not look good. He may have the numbers, but his efficiency is not right. Tonight, he picked and chose all of his spots. Nothing was forced. He literally went in the first half and just went ape shit, and came second half. It looked like he said, "I'm just gonna pass the ball around." It's crazy. Salute to all y'all that's in the building right now. There's a crazy game going on right now, man. LaMelo Ball just gave the dagger, to these guys. I mean, that's tripped out. Unbelievable. That happened. LaMelo is back, man. Now, can they go on a surge? That's the question now for the Charlotte Hornets. Can they make a surge with LaMelo? What is this going to do? Are they going to fall back into their old ways? That's what I'm asking for the Charlotte Hornets. The next game is against the Detroit Pistons in Detroit. That's going to be one hell of a game. The Pistons is red hot. But I tell you what, if Charlotte, they're an underrated team. You got LaMelo. He cancels out Cade if LaMelo want to come out and play. If he playing efficient like this, hitting threes from all over the goddamn place, it ain't gonna be no defense that they could do. So I mean, it's LaMelo's team, no question. So it's up to Charles Lee to get it all together. But nonetheless, the Charlotte Hornets will walk away with this W. Give major props to the Hornets tonight. Give credit to Johnson. He just hit another three. And what I will say is Atlanta, they're not giving up. They playing this shit down to the last second. So give them props. They will not let up on this game. They're like, no. It's crazy. This a wild game right now. Yeah, Con Knipple, man, is the truth, man. He can play. You got to give him props. It's 126, 132. 1.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Brandon Miller hits both free throws, and the game is over. The Charlotte Hornets get the W. 126, 133. Trae Young, I don't know what the hell's going on with Trae Young. I'm surprised that he didn't really play much, but give props. This guy Johnson tonight, 43 points. I mean, this kid is the truth. That's why you hearing talks about possibly, Trey being gone. You know, you heard talks about Lamelo being gone. You've heard these guys pretty much bunched up together. It was talks about Lamelo, John Morant, Trey Young. Everybody's talking about what these guys are gonna be traded. There's no value in them. I'm trying to figure out who's telling them these lies. It makes absolutely no sense. Noble Knowledge 1395. All these damn media's talking crazy for the past month, talking Trey and Melo. They must have lost their minds. Yeah, of course they lost their minds. I mean, but at the end of the day, man, the media is trying to, you know what they're doing. At the end of the day, it's one big trick bag. They at the end of the day, they're trying to get clicks. So that's why they do these things. That's why they do all this stupid shit. They talk so bad about LaMelo Ball. They make it seem like this guy's just not even worthy of being an NBA player if you let them speak on it. So I mean, you got to definitely be careful, with this media. These media guys is just ridiculous. But nonetheless, man, the Hornets they get this W. All of this would have been really for nothing if the Hornets didn't secure the win. So that's one thing that I do like about Charlotte. The mindset that winning, needs to oversee everything. Like I said, it goes back to Charles Lee. Charles Lee made some good moves. Where what I seen with Charles, where he basically was taking guys out of the game. So I mean, that's what you want to see at the end of the day. With Lamelo, what I noticed was when it was time to get Lamelo, out the game for defensive purposes, they took Lamelo out. They did everything in their power to make sure that Lamelo, was in a winning situation. There was times where Brandon Miller was bringing the ball up the floor. I see Charles Lee directing traffic. Make sure the ball get down to Melo. Make sure it get down. So I mean, that's what you want to see. Lamelo proved again today, once and for all, there is no question who's the best player on this team. I mean, this is just doesn't make any sense, And I was always scratching my head a little bit because it was games where I don't know if there's somebody pissed Lamelo off or because it was times where I felt like in the fourth quarter where he was a little too passive, more passive than I've seen him in these situations. Tonight, you've seen him grab the bull by the horn, where he basically said, you know what, I'm taking this. He didn't look to get Con Knipple open shot or find Miller. He went to the cup his goddamn self and did it. He pulled up and for a step back three, to deliver the dagger his damn self. That LaMelo took matters into his own hands tonight. LaMelo has to continue to take matters into his own hands. He has another opportunity. That's why I'm trying to tell you, I love opportunities, man. LaMelo is about to go up against the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, led by Cade Cunningham. LaMelo, they've been shitting on LaMelo in the media. They ran his name through the mud. They're making it seem like he just is not a winning player. He's not this. He's not. Everything is what he's not. I want LaMelo to roll into Detroit and just snatch the heart, from the Detroit Pistons. He's going to need all his troops to help him do it. But the Hornets have the makeup to go in Detroit, play a tough brand of basketball, and snatch the game and put the NBA back on notice. The Hornets are not that far out of this situation, y'all. I know the media want to make it seem like they're playing for nothing, but it's no reason why the Hornets should be this bad. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. But if they can figure out a way to get some W's, the season is still young. They can sneak in here and do something. Right now the Bulls are 11-15. The Hornets are 8-18. So clearly they're gonna need some help. The Bucks they lost, so they're gonna need a little assistance from these teams. They just can't fall down where the Nets are, the Pacers. Like the Hornets should not be the 12th seed. Everybody has something to be a part of the blame for why the Hornets are in this situation, why they're the 10th seed, the 12th seed. That's just crazy. The Hornets should be in the middle of the pack of all of this, in the Eastern Conference with these teams. So you got to blame ownership. LaMelo has something to do with it too. He's the number one option for this team. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that he's not the number one option like the other media is telling you. It's like what they did when LaMelo was out, when every time they waited for whenever Khan had an explosive game. Shout out Thunder. Salute to all the Hornets fans all in the building. The Hornets came and sealed the deal tonight. Lamelo Ball, MB1, the one of one, is back, live in the flesh tonight. The man put up 21 buckets in the first half, 7 threes, 4 threes in a goddamn row. This was an emphatic statement by the Lamelo Ball, to put everybody on notice that he is one of the best players in the NBA. And it reassures this organization, this front office, it will behoove you, to get behind this guy Lamelo Ball. They say they're behind him, but they need to continue to get behind him and put all of the pieces back in place. If you got Lamelo getting these assist numbers like this, you know what time it is now. It's time to get more and more talent around him because he's ready to, quarterback this thing like he always was ready to. They finally got better pieces in place now. So give major props to the Charlotte Hornets, man. And Charles Lee, man, he coached his ass off tonight, man. Give him props. Salute the Thunder. Thunder says, they have pieces. They just get hurt every 2 games. I'm telling you, that's a major problem for the Charlotte Hornets. The injuries, they continue to get hit by the injury bug. We all know that. That's been devastating for Charlotte. They got to get that together. Every year we feel like it's not going to be a year with injuries, but somehow, some way, they continue to get hit up by these injuries. I don't know what's going to happen, with them. But I do know one thing, oh my goodness, good game. I'm looking at the New York Knicks just took a W tonight in Indiana. They just continue to annihilate. But Noble Knowledge, he says, I'm saying if they can just get a Scotty Barnes or another star level player, we could be contenders. I agree there. I feel like they dropped the ball by not getting Brandon Miller. I think Miller would have been a good pickup for the Charlotte Hornets. You see what Brandon Miller is bringing to the table, for basically for Toronto. So you got Toronto in position, so give major props to him over there. Toronto look a little spooky, and we all know why, that's the case. But give props to Detroit, man. The Detroit Pistons is cooking. It's a lot of good. It's a lot out there. He says, "Flight, your Knicks." I'm telling you, the Knicks gonna listen, man. I've been on record. I told everybody that the Knicks was gonna win the championship this season. Even listen. Lonzo went to Cleveland. They was talking about the Cavaliers chasing a championship. See, I love Lonzo in Cleveland, but when you start talking about a championship, now you're getting in the middle of what's going on with the New York Knicks. Maybe they could compete for a title after the Knicks win. Because the Knicks got to get it. But we're going to get the A. You see what's going on with New York. But the Knicks just pulled out a gut check dub. But seriously, man, this is a big game tonight for Charlotte. This is another amazing night for Lamelo. That this guy is a superstar in this league. When Lamelo was focused, he's one of the best guards in the NBA. You can't tell me another guard, that could really play with him. He go to toe with any of these dudes. With Luka, with Shea, with any of them. I'm telling you, when Lamelo is focused, he can go toe to toe with the best. And we're gonna see it firsthand. I'm on record. It was Saturday. Hornets versus the Pistons. We will be live. Make sure you pull up. Because it's gonna be another epic game, man. The Charlotte Hornets is back. Lamelo Ball is back to reclaim his spot in the league. Something tells me that they might even go on a run. Rap guy says Melo need to stay on the court and be. Yeah, that's the key of staying on the court. It was time. Like I said, look, this guy Charles was taking Melo out. He was sparing him. He was out for a lot of that fourth quarter. He came in to seal the deal. They didn't bring Melo in at the 8-minute mark. I think Melo came in at the 3rd or the 4th minute. Or something like that. So I was like, damn, are they gonna let Melo sit? I think if the Hornets would have continued to run it up, then Lamelo would have never touched the light of the day in the fourth quarter. I think Atlanta kept cutting it. This guy Johnson put up 40-something. So they was knocking at the door all game. So they had to do something to hold them off, and they brought in Lamelo, and Lamelo just proved his superstardom. Once again. He just like that, man. It just is what it is. Lamelo, he like that. He's just one of the best players in the league, point blank, period. Uh, it is what it is. Chalk it up, man. Melo is back. Now I know he ain't gonna make the All-Star team. I'm gonna keep it. I don't think it's gonna happen. Unless they go on a winning streak. I think that you got to go back to last year. Number one, he wasn't really playing like that. This season injuries was another. It was another situation once again for the Hornets. Um, but I think he's gonna shake this off. And like I said, it is what it is. Forget about the All-Star game. That's irrelevant. The playoffs, the play-in, it's still time for that. It's not over. But you gotta start to win tough games too, and you gotta protect home court. As I'm looking at the Hornets schedule, man, I think that they could really, do something. Let's look at it real quick. Like I said, next game is Detroit. That's a tough game in Detroit. Then you got Cleveland. Cleveland, come on, Cleveland ain't playing like how people thought. Cleveland wasn't they the number one seed last year, if I'm not mistaken? Was it? No, Cleveland was a top seed. They won a whole bunch of games. No, come on, nobody believes in Cleveland. You don't know what version of Cleveland we're gonna get. Why can't the Hornets go in there and take that one? Then you got Washington. You have to beat Washington at home. You understand? Orlando. You just beat Orlando, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they beat Orlando one of the games. They need to beat Orlando again. Then you got the Bucks. So I mean, the pathway is there. It's there. So Toronto is bought. Yeah, I mean, Scotty ain't going nowhere. Shout out to Thunder. I don't know, but I understand where Hornets fans are coming from. Maybe they want to see a big move, a big trade. I think it can happen. You just got to be patient. That's what goes on with Hornets fans, NBA fans in general. We gotta up our patience. Shit ain't just gonna happen overnight for Charlotte. We know that, but there's no reason why they shouldn't be in the play-in. With this talent, especially with this influx of younger talent. They really got a nice collection of pieces. Not only do you have, like I said, I'm gonna call them young veterans. And like players like Lamelo, even Miles to a degree. When you look at even Miller, Miller. I mean, this guy. He's looked at. I think he's looked at like a Charlotte Hornets vet. But I mean, come on, you can't really. It's really hard pressed, to believe that he's a Hornets vet at this age. These guys still got a lot of development to do. And I like that they brought in players like Sexton. Plumlee. They brought in the right players to, shake it up a little bit. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, LeVar Ball. Not only that he got going on, he's got the Big Baller Brand store, popping off there in Cali. So that's a big thing, you know, um, for Charlotte. Pardon me for Big Baller Brand. Listen, a lot of people made it seem like BBB, wasn't standing. Big Baller Brand is still flourishing. Despite what people want to tell you. Not only do they have the warehouse and they selling things on bigballerbrandinc.com. Again, you got the big store popping up, like a store, an actual store that you can walk into, and I believe that this is just the start of many. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a store in Charlotte, we get a store in New York. New York is one of the biggest, capitals, so for shit like that. So I definitely see, big things percolating, on that note. But nonetheless, man, this is a big ordeal for Lamelo Ball and the Charlotte Hornets, man. Lamelo is back. This is what we want to see, y'all. From the Hornets. Big play. Lamelo is back. Listen, man. Look out. Look out for the Charlotte Hornets, man. Lamelo is here, man. So that means anything can go. That's all that means. Anything can go while Lamelo is out here. That's what that means. Ain't nothing safe. Whatever you thought, whatever the media told you, it was all one big ass lie. Because the Charlotte Hornets is back in the flesh. Give props to LaMelo Ball and the Hornets, man. I'm excited, for, what's to come for the Charlotte Hornets. I think that They got their star back, and he looks more focused than ever. And that's why I'm very concerned for anybody right now who's doubting LaMelo Ball, who basically is telling you that he's not serious. You got to think of all these nasty things the media have been saying about LaMelo. The most unserious player in the game. I just don't think he even cares about basketball anymore. These are the things that they saying. LaMelo just sit there bulletproof, don't react to nothing. They only heard him react, and then they throw out shit like he want to be traded. So they throw out all these different lies. The media, they working overtime. They want to create some kind of riffraff, with LaMelo and the Charlotte Hornets so bad for whatever reason. It's messed up that they even doing something like that they trying to, do this to LaMelo Ball. It doesn't make any sense why they continue this. They need to stop. Embrace LaMelo Ball, just like you embrace the other players. I always think that LaMelo and Charles Lee, they's on like a thin leash. I feel like, okay, he's playing well right now, but LaMelo don't have the leverage like all the other guys on the squad. To me, Rap guy says Khan isn't, but no, he's not better than LaMelo. And another thing, we shouldn't. That's what the media wants. They want, his teammates, against each other. That if Khan Knuckle is good, I mean that's a very good thing. We should be applauding that. We want Khan Knuckle to be a 30-point scorer in this league. Could you imagine that? What that would do for LaMelo? And give credit to LaMelo. The man is getting everybody involved. There's no selfishness in this game. Who you gonna put in here who can activate this offense like LaMelo? That's another thing that you got to think about if the Hornets did move him. We keep talking about, the injuries and this. I mean, listen, what you going you can't just get anybody to come in to put up this kind of production. 13 assists. That's big time. That's big time. 28, 4, and 13. That's a lot. Shout out to Noble. Shout out Rap God. Salute to all y'all that's in the chat right now. You already know what it is. Flight Sports. Want to thank all y'all for y'all support tonight, man. We rocking in here, man. We celebrating Hornets basketball. We celebrating LaMelo Ball. I mean, this is what it's all about. It's always good when the Ball brothers is back. Like I said, Lonzo coming off the bench in Chicago. I mean, I want to see him percolate a little bit more. I've been watching him. There's a lot of things that I want to see from Lonzo as well. So, and like I say, even with Melo, just consistency, and staying on the goddamn floor. These injuries just started getting insurmountable. It says, what a great, shout out to Jake Simpson. This was an unbelievable game tonight. This was LaMelo Ball showing you truthfully what he's all about, that he is one of the best. That's what we're seeing. Yeah. Says Noble Knowledge says Miles needs to stay too. He's a key piece. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. So don't make no sense. Right now, I'm checking out the Raptors Bucks game. I'm surfing the landscape right now. I'm checking out any game that's competitive. You got a lot of games that's early on right now. So it's a lot. But man, this some real stuff out here, man. The NBA, man, is crazy. 75-69 with this Bucks game. It's no Giannis, but I like to watch Melo. I mean, not Melo, pardon me, Ingram. Ingram is definitely one of my favorite players to watch. It's a talented place. It's Lakers losing to the Jazz by 9. Yeah, that game's still early, so I figured, got to the second half. You know how the Lakers do. They like it's a soap opera, with the Lakers. They drag shit out. Fourth quarter, they come alive. We know that. Give credit to the Jazz. You don't know what version of them you're gonna get. But yeah, what version of Melo? What do you see with Melo versus Cade Cunningham? I mean, what do you guys see? What do you expect in that matchup? I'm expecting a really good game from LaMelo Ball, keeping it 100. I'm really expecting a good game. Lamelo wild out. Like I said, Lamelo hit him with a dagger too over the big O. Kind of nipple, man. Lamelo Ball, man. That's a perfect tandem. And then you got Miller in front of me. I keep saying Ingram with Miller. Look at the stat line tonight from the Hornets' big three. And then even if you want to throw Bridges in there as well, tonight, Melo with 28, 4 rebounds, 13 assists. Brandon Miller with 26 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Miles Bridges tonight, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal and 1 block. Con Knipple with 28 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. So I mean that's big time. Green with 3 points, Simpson with 4, Sion James with 5, Diabate with 5, T. John Salon tonight came in and chipped in with 10. So clearly something's going on with T. John. T. John is doing something well. He did well out in Greensboro. So I mean, I like that. I like what I'm seeing. That dunk was crazy. Shout out to Noble Knowledge. We all know Miller been showing that he had hops and he was a vicious dunker. Ever since he got in the league. Let's stop acting like he wasn't trying to catch bodies. Since he stepped in the league. You know, the man could dunk. And I think is another level that this guy can go to. I don't think it's just what you seeing right here. I think that is bigger than that. So we're gonna find out. Like I said, next game is gonna be a big test. For Lamelo. There's no defense. As good as Detroit is defensively, they can't guard Lamelo. So there's no defense for Lamelo. So now what happens? Because it's gonna be different. I think when Melo now really got these players who are going to hit these shots for him. Shout out to the Pope B. Frank. You got players now like Con Knipple, Brandon Miller is back. You finally have a good opportunity to put all this shit together now. So when you go up against Detroit, they want to send a double. They want to triple Melo when he coming in the paint. Now you have Melo Ball ready to start launching that motherfucker all over the place. Pause. Just ready to pass, assist. And that's what you're gonna see from LaMelo. Before the talent level was just bad, horrible. And I'm not gonna just go jumping for joy now because you see a couple of good players now from the Hornets. The Hornets have had, I would say, 2 decent drafts. T. John Salon is kind of still on the fence, but I think he's going to make the cut. It's just going to take a little bit longer than everybody else. But Miller, I'm gonna say, was a good draft, and Khan, this whole Khan draft was spectacular. Everybody, in this draft is producing for this team. McNeely, I think he's a little late to the party, but they're going to get him right. I don't think he's as far off as I think T. John was. I think T. John was a player that really needed some development. I think that My man McNeely, he just need to just wake his ass up a little bit. You've seen the talent in the summer league. You know what he can do. I just feel like he a little timid and he getting in his own way. So go to Greensboro, go through the same system program that they did with T. John. I think this guy's going to be a productive player for Charlotte when it's all done. Um, like I said, Sion, all these dudes are playing well. Sion, Khan, Knipple, they had the chemistry coming from Duke. So it's not an accident that these guys are playing, pretty much in a good tandem. They work very well together, when they're on the floor with one another. That was a really smart move by Charlotte to bring in people like that, with some level of camaraderie with winning. The Hornets, they get players from all over the goddamn place. Even a kid from Creighton, I believe he's from Creighton. My man Kalkbrenner, the center he was like a godsend for him. All summer long prior to the season, what are they going to do at the center position? They let go of two of their centers last year. Both of them are in Phoenix. So what was it? The Jamaican, I forgot his name already. The Jamaican and obviously Williams. That's two centers that was just gone. Mind you, the Jamaican, y'all got to refresh my memory with his name. That guy was developing, pretty well. I thought that he was going to be decent for Charlotte, but I mean, clearly he was not going to turn into an all-star, nothing like that. Williams, the injuries just got in the way of him. I think that he fit pretty decent with Lamelo. He's doing all right there in Phoenix as well. He hasn't had anything catastrophic. And I think that's going to be going with him his whole career. He can't have no crazy injuries that put him out. It just can't be. But this is big for the Hornets, man. To get back to some winning ways. That's what we want to see from the Charlotte Hornets. Just win. Get back to the play and get back to where you was at. All these years of just falling apart. So none of this would have meant nothing. I want to repeat again if the Hornets would have lost. Yeah, Nick Richards, pardon me. I forgot his name. These guys, once they leave LaMelo, it's hard pressed if we ever going to see another one of their games again. But Nick Richards was a center that I thought was improving, who possibly could have been a starter with a little bit more development. But they traded both their centers last year. The center position was a big question mark. They brought in Kalkbrenner. Not only was he a productive center for them, where I thought they was gonna have to develop him, this kid started day one. So it's crazy. Shit don't make no sense, man. The the the, the German Jamaican man, he doing all right out there for Phoenix, isn't he? Last time I checked, I thought Phoenix was doing all right. It don't make no sense. That shit crazy. Shit don't make no sense. Yeah, y'all let me know. I haven't heard any updates on Jello. Last time I checked with Jello, he's getting his family in order. As we can see, he put all that on social media. The guy just got off tour with Kevin Gates. So that was a big thing for him. He traveled city to city all throughout the U.S. So Jello was very active. So that make no sense. But that's what we want. That's what we want to see from these Hornets now. That's what we want to see. Charlotte Hornets up, man. They're on top. With Lamelo Ball, man, it could go any way. It can go any way. I'm telling you, As much as people want to separate Khan Knippel from Lamelo, Khan Knippel needs Lamelo Ball as well. If you really probably talk to Khan Knippel, they don't want Lamelo to go. I think Lamelo is a really good teammate, a better teammate than the media projects himself. The media has always wanted to make it seem like it's all about Lamelo. He doesn't have the best interests for his teammates. He's just all for himself. He's a selfish player. This is what the media wants you to believe. These players swear by LaMelo Ball. The media tried to separate Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges and LaMelo Ball is like this. This guy wear nothing but his clothing line, the LaFrance brand. That's just is very prevalent. We don't even see nothing like that. All these guys love LaMelo. Khan does like LaMelo. That's what I'm saying. They're very good friends of one another, and you can see LaMelo is thoroughly embracing Khan Knippel. LaMelo was there with the family. You never seen these guys pull up to California and go to the big baller brand state. The Hornet. I'm pretty sure they could have did that. LeVar would have made breakfast and lunch and all that shit. So I mean, I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. You didn't see this happen. They went to Khan's house. Now, if LaMelo if LaMelo was this player that all these people and the media want you to believe, he would have been absent for that. The whole team, he could have. That would have been a strong message. Let's say they all went to go get the chicken fajitas from. See, you don't hear nobody talking about that either. They all went to go get chicken fajitas at Khan Knippel's house. If they all went to the big baller brand estate, people would have been saying they went and ate pancakes and all this other shit. Waffles and they go in there. I mean, it just would have been a big mess. But it happens with Khan Knippel is all right. So I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. And mind you, the big baller brand estate has a whole entire gym. If I'm not mistaken, the Hornets personnel, was there over the off season. You got to do your homework. I don't know if Charles Lee and everybody was there, but LaMelo had Hornets trainers, down there at the big baller brand estate over the off season. So LeVar also has a NBA court that's on the property. We heard it first reported by the legendary AB the Hero, when it was in pre-construction, now is in full gloom. So I mean, there's a lot more amenities there at the big baller brand estate that the Charlotte Hornets, could use. So I would definitely like to see that as well. They went to Khan's house when they were, and mind you, that's in another state. It wasn't like he lived in Charlotte and they went there. So they need to do the same thing when it comes to big baller brand as well. That's what I want to see. But give credit to LaMelo for being a great teammate. I'm telling you, he's one of the better teammates that we got in this league. One of the most unselfish players. He's a selfish player. That's what they tell you. He doesn't take things seriously. He understands that this team has an improvement of talent. So LaMelo Ball has to cultivate that talent. He's responsible. LaMelo Ball is being held responsible. He has to get these guys together, point blank. He has to. He has to help lead the squad. And then come fourth quarter in the clutch, he need to do what he did tonight against Atlanta, where you sealed the deal. So when you go up against Detroit and Khan Knippel, Miles, Miller, they bring you to the promised land. And it's fourth quarter, 5 minutes left, 4 minutes, wherever this guy brings you back in the game, wherever the hell the game presents itself, that's where you go in and you just do the most damage. That's what I want to see from LaMelo Ball. You have to. He's gonna have to wake up because it's gonna be a serious problem going up against Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham, I believe, is in the MVP discussion. The Detroit Pistons are one of the best teams in basketball. So LaMelo and company will have their work cut out for them, and they're gonna have to roll up their sleeves. So let's see if they can get the job done. I thoroughly believe in Charlotte. I think that they're gonna do something. I don't think that they're gonna fall off. If LaMelo was healthy, and that's gonna be a big question. Health is wealth. For Lamelo. Nobody's ever questioning Lamelo's talent. My only question with Lamelo is, can he stay on the floor? For how long? And it's not even Lamelo at this point. It's the Charlotte Hornets. Knock on wood, it's times where you know Lamelo might be good, and then something go on with Miller. The Miller's okay, there's something go on with Miles. Look what's going on with Trey Mann and these fools. Where the hell is wrong with them? They important too. So it seems like they can't get right all at the same time. And that's another issue with Charlotte. It's not only LaMelo, it's a collection of the whole entire team where it seems like they all can't be healthy at the same time. You at least need to have the core pieces healthy. That's been a tough time to do. Khan Knippel is in that core piece now. I think that, hell, he might move ahead of Miles in this situation. You got to go Melo, Miller, Miles. I mean, Melo, Melo, Miller, and Khan Knippel. And then if you want to throw Miles in there, it's almost like the glue, but Khan Knippel is going to be a star in this league, I believe. And LaMelo Ball being his point guard can help accelerate that. Nobody talks about Melo being his guard, and his teammate helping to enable the success of him. You don't see LaMelo taking shots away from Khan. He's trying to make Khan life easier. He's a rookie. Khan Knippel just a rookie, y'all. So you clearly see it's going to be more and more levels and stages to his development. It's not just going to be something, a flash in the pan. Not in my humble opinion. So like I said, I'm excited for the Hornets, man. I think the Hornets going to do something this year, like I said again. But when I mean do something, I mean the play in. I'm not going to be naive and say they're going to go on the playoff run. But we're not even at All-Star break. The Hornets got to figure it out. Stockpile a couple W's. How can they do that? That's everybody's massive question. But this was another good game. It says, man, if Giannis could come, it would be wraps for the whole NBA. Yeah, that would be a good look. Zion, there's a couple things, that I would look to explore. I think with a play like this, see, LaMelo was out for a while, and they was able to, continue their narratives. But after a game like this, you got to just pay homage and take notice and take it easy right now. Obviously his trade value, not in one game, just shot through the roof. But if you're the Hornets, you might want to hold on to him because something tells me, even if they did make a trade for LaMelo, what kind of return are you getting? Because the media has just dogged LaMelo out to the point where you'd be lucky to get even a first round pick. That's what it sounds like. It seemed like it wouldn't be even a proper return for LaMelo Ball. Shout out to Chuck Morris. He said, salute, I see LaMelo had a great game. He definitely did. LaMelo closed the game out. He snatched it hard. He crushed it. Fourth quarter came around. He hit him with the dagger twice. Basically he went to the cup and he didn't look for help. He didn't look for anybody to bail him out. LaMelo put his head down, paused, and went to the cup, and scored it. And then the game wasn't over. This guy Johnson from the Atlanta Hawks, he went on for 40 plus. So he kept knocking at that door. LaMelo had to hit him with another three, in the clutch, no hesitation, bucket to seal the deal, man. This is what he do. You see LaMelo, the swagger, the energy, everything just coming full circle. So it's Chris's Mavs are destroying the Pistons in the third quarter. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem too for so that means you got Detroit coming off a loss. So if they was to lose, it's still early though. It's 57-71. Detroit gonna make a run. It's Detroit. They're gonna make a run in this game. How much are they down by? They only down a little bit. They're only down 9 points at halftime. I mean, no, they don't have. They're in the third. Pardon me, 57-71. It's still kind of early though. Just be patient. I don't know what's going on with the Mavs. They're moving like they're ready to trade everybody. So it don't make no sense. But this was a big day for the Charlotte Hornets, man. They the best player, the true face of the franchise, no question, no debating, returned tonight. You know, it was reports that he wasn't going to return, but he ended up returning, and he put up 28 points, 4 rebounds, 13 assists, and a steal. He was out there playing defense. Um, he also gave Con Knipple, he helped Con Knipple get his 28, his 5 rebounds. Even Con came in with 7 assists. Miller with 7 assists. So clearly, the assists shouldn't just fall on Lamelo. All of these guys handle the ball, at a decent rate. They should find more people. It just is what it is. That should be the case. But give major props to the Charlotte Hornets tonight, man. This was a big win. I'm excited for Lamelo. 21 in the first half, 7 threes. This guy also hit 4 threes in a row. That's just spectacular. Where they do that at? So I mean, it's like this guy was hot as fish grease tonight, and there was nothing that the defense, it was nothing that nobody could do about the situation. He was going to get his. We saw it firsthand. So hypothetically speaking, Detroit right now is in a tough game, on the road. Let's say they lose tonight. That could cause problems for the Hornets. The Hornets may be in a tougher game than they believe. So we got to monitor all of this. We got to keep everything into perspective. The Charlotte Hornets is back. Point blank, period, man. I want to see what Lamelo got for Cade, though. That's what I want to see. I think we're gonna have to get the popcorn from Saturday. I'm telling you, Lamelo, he gonna do that to them. I'm telling y'all. Right now, he just like that. The media, they said too much. They lied too much. And it's not over yet. I believe Detroit is still gonna win this game. Y'all check in with Detroit. I'm checking out the Pistons game, but I got the legendary Fresh Prince of Belize, New York City.
Yo.
Fresh Prince. Listen, Lamelo came back tonight. Epic return. 7 threes.
On the big O. I seen it.
Yeah, yeah. You seen that he hit the dag over the big O. They need to be teammates, but it is what it is.
But he did say when it was in high school, what? Nobody on his team could guard me.
Nobody
could guard me. He told him straight up they couldn't guard him from then. So, but hold on. I just want to jump at something real quick. Real quick. Because the Knicks won the cup, right?
Oh, yes. Talk to him. New York City.
Yeah, we won the cup. We did our thing. My fault I can't be on the cam right now, but just know it is what it is. But we won the cup. My thing is with this, right? Everybody talking about the banner, right? Oh, we don't want to hang up the banner. Everybody's like, oh, we ain't get all these banners. We never had a banner in 50 years. Yo, Flight. Last time I checked, they hang up conference banners, don't they?
They used to. I mean, that's not something that goes on no more. But I do remember it was a point in time where they did do that. They used to hang up division shit. They did a lot of wild shit back in the day.
My whole point is this: we won 2 conference finals. We went to the conference finals. Right? We won 2 conference finals.
No. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Who won 2? The Knicks.
The Knicks.
No. They don't. They only gave out the banner if you made it to the finals. Like I remember back in the days, Cleveland.
Oh no, big dog. Hold on, big dog. You might want to go do your research on that.
No, they don't. No. I'm telling you, they don't. I know that. I don't got to do no research. They don't give you They don't give you a banner just because you made it to the conference finals.
No, because you won the Eastern Conference.
Yes. You would get a banner, absolutely. But they don't do that
finals
anymore.
Twice in the 90s, big dog, 95 and 99.
Did they hang up the banners in the Garden?
Yes, bro. That's why I'm confused.
Okay, yeah. Well, then they did. That's what I'm saying. That was an old. Yeah, that is something that used to go on. Cleveland did it. Yeah, I think the last team who hung up a banner was Cleveland, when LeBron and the Cavs went to the conference final. This was years ago. This is when they went to the finals with Drew Gooden and Hughes and all of them. That's when I remember the Cavaliers hung up Eastern Conference champions. They don't even do that no more. They don't promote. Everything's
Pistons
about the
got that up.
championship now.
Pistons got their banners up, all that. They got
Nah, but
them
the
up.
Knicks shouldn't put no damn cup banner up, man. That's just
No,
come
no,
on,
no.
man.
I get all that. But my thing is, right? I agree. I agree on it. Don't put no banner up. I agree on that. My
It's
whole
crazy.
point is the disrespect with them saying like we haven't hung up banners and bro, we won in 99 and in 95. Respectfully. Like, okay, we win the chip, but we lost to the Rockets, Hakeem. We lost to what's your boy? I can't remember the Spurs. The Spurs got
Respectfully,
Robinson,
the
Dave
Twin
Robinson.
Towers.
Yeah, and Tim Duncan, rookie Tim Duncan.
Yeah,
So right, like in fairness, and it was a lockout season. We was the AC that year too. We like listen. I know a lot of people act so dramatic with it, but bro, I'm here to tell y'all, calm down, calm down, calm down. Cause a lot of these favorite teams, they don't got no Eastern Conference banners or Western Conference banners. So let's stop. Let's
not
stop.
respectfully.
Respectfully.
But listen, man,
Yeah,
it's
and if the
crazy.
Knicks want to hang up the banner at the end of the season, I'm all for that because guess what? That's what the Lakers and the Bucks, right? They hung up their banners right after it, and guess what happened? They got bumped in the first round. So we don't need that bad juju.
Right,
We don't need that bad juju. Both teams got bumped in the first round. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need
not at
that.
all.
All right.
I want to ask you a question, a Hornets question. What's your thoughts with all this talk when basically Melo was out and everybody was making it seem like who team it was? That was a big ordeal. It was reports just like I would say a few days ago that Khan Knippel is now viewed as the face of the franchise. This is what the headlines was all out.
So
I mean, it's just crazy.
I want to ask you.
I mean, what's your thoughts with all this shit going on? And Melo
So
came back tonight and put everybody on notice that he the
so
most talented player on the team. But go
oh
ahead.
yeah, by far, but by far. But look, you see, I'm before I answer your question, I'm gonna tell you something, right? I ran
So
into some people from New Orleans. I mean, I said New Orleans now, North Carolina, and they was from Charlotte. And I was like, y'all Lamelo fans? They're like, yeah, we like, we rock with them. I'm like, all right. I'm like, so who y'all think is the team going to? Because I asked the same question: is it Con or is it Lamelo? And I'm not gonna lie to you. They told me it's Con team. They could get rid of Lamelo now, and I thought that was crazy. But if that's what they're saying over there, I can't even be mad at it. And I can't even be mad at it because, right, I wanted LaMelo out for years anyway. So I don't give a damn. I don't care. Trade LaMelo. Put him where he needs to be, bro. Put him where he could show his game because the thing is, they say he's not a winner. He played losing basketball. That's the organization that's forcing his hand this way. Because again, like I said, always say it. The Warriors were supposed to draft LaMelo. LaMelo was supposed to be with Curry under a great organization. He was supposed to be under those type of realms. He fell into the Hornets and they never built around him. They went out his rookie year and was saying Gordon Hayward was the best player on the team. After he won Rookie of the Year, they said that we
crazy.
focusing our team around Gordon Hayward. And he never played a game since, bro. Like that stuff to me is just crazy that they never and all the other rookies. You talk about Garland, Ant-Man, everybody else that was drafted in his draft class, the top 10 players, I would say. All of those players, they built teams around them, bro. Even
Yeah.
Obi, they like
And
even
I
they,
want to say something too. They all came off the bench. I don't think Khan came off the bench. I
right.
don't.
They all
Yeah.
started.
Even Miller had to come off the bench.
You see what I'm saying? Like they these guys come off the bench and like they but Khan is he's for them. He's a Carolina boy, right? Like so it makes sense, bro. Like it makes sense. That's what they want to do. And remember, Hornets don't want to win. They just wanna develop players and just be a NBA team. But they don't care to win, bro. Like if they cared to win, I'm sorry, bro. They would have freaking played Melo and Jello and probably went for Lonzo when he was a free agent. Like they would have did some stuff to try to win, bro. I don't believe in them, bro. So I say all I like to say, let it be con team. Lamelo, keep balling out so they could show you, so you could show your draft stock, and I hope you land somewhere where you could show your team, show your game, because I wouldn't want them to go to like where they like, all right, we're going to trade for a Middleton or something like that, and he end up in like a Washington or something. Like I wouldn't want nothing like that. Like you know what I'm saying? They try to get like the big man over there, like in the future, the old what's the Sarek,
Sar,
or yeah, Sar, or try
I
to get
don't think they're
him.
gonna get rid of him.
Yeah, but I'm saying like for Lamelo, you get him, Middleton, and maybe some pick or something like that for Lamelo. Something crazy like they try to do something like that. I mean, I've seen all kind of weird reports, like you know what I'm saying. But I'm like, why would they? Why would he go to a worse team? Like, so I would just hope he do go to a better team. Indiana, I mean not Indiana now. The Raptors is kind of brewing up there. I wouldn't mind him going up there to play with Scotty Barnes and Ingram up there. You know what I mean? Like, but I definitely want him in a better situation though, for sure. I'll say all I to say. I want him in a better situation. I wouldn't even mind him. You know, I wouldn't mind him with Sabonis in Sacramento, cause you know they got the Louisiana ties over there. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would be dope.
Yeah, man, that would be. You said what would be dope?
He get like he go to Sacramento with Sabonis, because Sabonis is from Louisiana, right?
Yeah, I don't know where the hell Sabonis is from. I have
I
to
think
look
he's from.
that
I
up.
think he's from Louisiana. I can't. I keep saying I think wrong, but yeah, he's from there though.
Oh, Lithuania. I thought you said he was from
Yeah.
Louisiana. I was about to say I
No, no,
don't know.
no. I can't pronounce that shit for nothing, bro. Pardon me.
Yeah,
But yeah, he from out there though. So you know, like it'll be. I know that would be dope for like Lamelo and him to be on the same team. I know they would love it out there in that country, and I could kind of probably, boost some sales or something like that. But yeah,
yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Shit don't make no sense. New York is wild right now, man.
New York is hot right now, man. What you think about the I haven't really been watching them lately, but the Cavs with Lonzo, how Lonzo been?
Man. Listen, I'm happy you said that, man. I'm so happy you brought up Lonzo. So because listen, man, it's been tough, watching. Like, I've been watching, and it's a tough situation, man, to watch my favorite player on the bench, you know,
Yo,
and it seemed like there's no sight for maybe a starting role. I'm starting to ask myself, damn, is Lonzo ever gonna start again? Even on this team, even with Lonzo, I don't even like the way he's playing. Where it's like he don't even look for his shot at all. I'm looking
yeah,
in the fourth
first.
quarter. This guy looking to pass at every notice. The only time he gonna shoot is unless it's the last fucking resort, and there was no other option. And the ball just fell back in his lap. And I don't like that. And that's something years
Do you
ago
think?
that
Do you think it's because like it's still like I don't want to be the reason
no,
why the Cavs is not doing well, right? But the Cavs did well last year, and it's like, well, if we're
no,
gonna do bad, it's not gonna be because of me.
no,
Like,
we
if you think it's because of something like that nature,
no. I mean, I'll just keep it 100 with you, man.
you
I
don't think he?
think that when lines are like I said, we got to keep it real. That's what I'm saying. That's what we got to do here. We can't be playing games. I'm watching this game, and I see when Lonzo missed a shot or two. Oh, this motherfucker just start acting like he don't want to shoot no more at all. So it's
Mm,
like maybe if he's hot, if he hit his first shot or two, then he may be more willing to put it up. But if he missed one or two shots, this guy will be looking to pass for the rest of the game. And they provide him some good minutes. I'm not gonna lie to you. Cleveland do play him. They do allow him. He's out there in the clutch. He don't start, but he is out there in the fourth quarter. Sometimes even when he's off. So they are allowing him to play, but um the shot is just something ain't right. And that was something that I thought he was perfecting, as a 3-and-D player, because that's what Lonzo Ball is now, with with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, we can't act like he's running around quarterbacking the offense. He has spurts where he does do that, you know. But the ball is primarily in the hands of the guards for Cleveland. You know, but the only thing I don't like is Lonzo going to up his aggressiveness, and I want to go back to when he was coached in New Orleans under Alvin Gentry. You know, Alvin Gentry, him, they used to go at it over this kind of shit, over Lonzo not being aggressive. You know, just too much willing for the pass. If all you're gonna do is pass, sometimes the defense anticipate. Not sometimes, they always anticipating it, you know, and it just looks bad, man, where you just passing the ball all around all the time and not going. It's just very upsetting to me, you know. And the Cleveland ain't gonna win no goddamn championship in the Eastern Conference, you know, unless they make a trade or something. They get fucking AD or something. Outside of a massive trade, the Cavaliers are no contenders in the Eastern Conference. So
I'll give you one.
I don't, especially with the Knicks out there. They're not beating New York. I don't give a fuck who out. They're not beating New York. You know,
I don't think nobody out of the East coming out and beating New York neither. But I'll
yeah,
give
that's
you
what I'm
one.
saying.
Do you
They're
think?
not
Do you
gonna beat
think?
New York, and they're not gonna beat. They're not gonna beat Detroit either. You know, so I mean, they got problems, and they're at the bottom. So if Lonzo's gonna be playing, I just think he need to leave. He's still a young player in this league. You know, he don't have to run around chasing behind players that's really not even their IQ level is fucking stupid. You know, I think that it. Hopefully he's healthy. You know, hopefully all of this shit resorts in Lonzo being held because and one thing I do want to say, you know, there not being a knock on Lonzo, so we gotta keep it real. Lonzo is having a relatively healthy year. You know, they have a plan in place with him. He's not playing back to backs. You know, he hasn't been out for an extended period of time. He's been relatively healthy. So that is a good plus. Hopefully all of this shit that's going on with Lonzo, where real Lonzo fans might have a little head scratcher. You know, what the fuck's going on here? You know, maybe in the playoffs he's available for him and able to take the playoffs for the first time in his career. And I think that may rewrite some and maybe make people think of this whole process a little bit differently. But just watching Lonzo with the Cavs, he's pretty much a shell of himself of what he used to be with the Cavs because he's really like, you know, with Chicago, it wasn't so relevant. Here, he's really buried behind these guards. You know, Garland and Mitchell, he's not over them dudes. You know, and he won't be allowed to go over them. You know, so I just don't like the style of play of Cleveland. It's just a mess, man. It's just been very frustrating watching Lonzo, man. I hate that I was so long winded, pause, but it was just 100.
So would you rather pair Lonzo up with Luca?
I mean, to be honest with you, I want Lonzo to go to a team where he can, you know, just regain his play, where he's a starter. You know, where a team that may not be as good as you think. You know, let me think of a squad.
Like
That
a Utah?
uh,
But they got a solid big. They got a solid
well,
guard.
they got some young players. I think Utah, he may be a starting point guard in Utah, something like that. I'm trying to think of another team possibly. I know the Clippers
Brooklyn.
possibly could use a guard. They let go of Chris Paul. That didn't work out. A place where he gonna get like I just think I would like a team like Utah where he could go to a team where he can get out a little bit and do more than usual. Maybe Brooklyn.
That's what I was thinking too.
You know,
Brooklyn,
our
especially
teams that go
after
ahead.
the conversation with him and Michael Porter. Maybe they got some chemistry. They could be good together in
That's what
Brooklyn.
I'm saying. I want him to go to a team where it's not so much shit going on, where it's just him. He ain't got to worry about two other all stars behind or above him, and he's never going to start over these two. I would like him to go to a team where he's the starting point guard.
I would
You
say
know,
though, he
yeah,
got a lot.
right, or if he's not the starting point guard off rip, he has a potential to snatch the job. You know, that's where I want to see Lonzo. I'm trying to think of other teams. I wouldn't say Orlando because they situation.
But what
What's
about
going
the
on with
Bucks?
Miami? What
The
about
Bucks.
Miami?
Bucks.
Maybe Miami. What's their guard situation?
Miami.
Miami. What's their guard situation? Miami. 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 What's their guard situation?
they got it's kind of tough. They
That's
got
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He need to go to a team where he's got the fucking reins, and then, he's still young. He don't have to be sitting here chasing championships and jumping from team. Because even with Cleveland, he ain't there locked in. What is this, a 1 year deal? I
yeah.
don't even know what
It's
the
the one
fuck's
year,
going on. That's what I'm saying. This is not. He's too young to be running
So
around
so what
bouncing
about
around for chips.
what
Is it
about
with
a
a
team
player
like team?
option? There's
What about a
something. Go
what
ahead. I'm
about
sorry.
a team like Warriors?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, you got Curry there, so I
But that's
mean,
Curry only got like 2-3 more years in him.
it's possible if you want to go there and then Curry come. Curry will go to the bench. And you the defender. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but that you don't have to deal with what was going on with two guards.
Yeah.
You know. But I just want to
Because
see.
to be fair, I don't think. All right, like it's a wild take, right? But I don't think Garland is over Lonzo though. Well,
I'm
I
with you there.
understand.
I'm with you, but he's not. He's not going to have an opportunity to
Yeah,
go over
right,
Garland.
right,
It's too
right,
much
right.
money invested in
Yeah,
Garland.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because I don't really don't think Garland is you know what I'm saying? Because like if but then again, this is a healthy Lonzo we're talking about though. In fairness, like you said, we're keeping it real. Like you know what I'm saying? Lonzo got to. This is the year though. This is the year. Like you said too. I like to take what you made with the playoffs because maybe that's what it is. Overall, down the line, Cleveland just feel like you know what we just need to make it to the playoffs, and when we get there, we get there because overall, right? If they make it and they're not in like the Knicks forte, right in the first 2 rounds, they got to see the Knicks. They may have a shot to go to the Eastern Conference, play the Knicks, and respectfully give us a run. But
What'd you
but
say?
what I said, I was saying like if you I like your take what you said about where you were saying that Lonzo could be just they could just be playing
Yeah,
Lonzo
I heard that
spot
part.
minutes
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
for the playoffs, right? But I was
Yeah,
saying
that's the
playoffs,
key.
but the playoffs, right? If the Cavs doesn't match against the Knicks in the first 2 rounds, right? You can see the Cavs and the Knicks in the conference finals and see a really tight match, especially with Lonzo being the Lonzo we expect of him. Because now you like he's going against you saying a McBride and a Jordan Clarkson off the bench, right? Like is you know what I mean? Him and Brunson gonna be going at it like he could keep up. He keep up respectfully. At least I would think so.
Who Lonzo can keep up?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think that
I'm
Lonzo
saying
could be
like if he
used
if he if he get the
because they're
run
gonna have
like
problems. Garland and Mitchell gonna have issues in the playoffs, because I don't think that they're a good fit together.
now,
So
right?
so that make like hopefully Lonzo is healthy. Hopefully it all makes sense in the end. But
I
I don't see them winning a championship. I think they're gonna run into problems, and it's not gonna be because of Lonzo. Because this offense is on
yeah
Garland.
the team itself is going to break, and that's what I think. I think they're gonna break them up. I think they're gonna either like maybe. I always said they were gonna get rid of Garland. Once they picked up Lonzo, I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna try to move Garland and maybe a Allen or a Mobley because they can't afford to pay all those players moving forward.
I'm with you. I'm with you. It's gonna get wild. You know.
And I strongly believe, bro, you're going to get a trade for LeBron, man. I feel like that's the trade. It's going to be Cleveland trading for LeBron from the Lakers, bro. And he's going to end his career there.
I don't know yet. I don't know about LeBron. You think LeBron gonna go back to Cleveland?
Yeah, man, I do. I really do. Because it
He
makes
might
sense.
sign. He might sign a 1 day contract.
No, 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 no. It's going to be for like the rest of the year. It could be something like right before the deadline. And he just ends his career this year. Him and Chris Paul retire the same year. Kind of vibe. Like, that's what it's given. Because they're going to want to give Luca I mean, this is what I also was thinking, right? They keep him in LA and Lakers going to run to the finals. That would be sick.
No, that would be crazy.
and LeBron go out with a ring.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be
yeah,
sick because you remember all Lakers, all great Lakers got 5 rings. So, but granted, they won all 5 rings in LA. Unlike but still, just saying.
that shit is crazy. Um, shout out to Curtis Lewis. Lonzo's not a starting caliber player in the league no more. Well, I don't agree with that. I
I
just
don't
need him
either.
to get an opportunity again too. He need to go to a team where he have more of the reins. I think Cleveland is like he don't got all the reins there at all. He's just like I just it's a mess.
I think Cleveland got a good deal out the situation because again, Cleveland going into the season, Cleveland knew Garland was going to be hurt. They needed a point guard. Now we all like from what we seen, the Bulls was clearly trying to unload and get rid of everybody. Hence on they got rid of DeRozan last year, Zach, and then they got rid of everybody, right? So we seen the Lonzo thing. Somebody get rid of him, but now was Cleveland the right fit? Probably not. But Cleveland thought maybe we needed a guard to cover our space, and he's the best guard available. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly think Dallas would have been a better fit for him this season with Kyrie being out. He could have been able to do what he had to do. And with Kyrie coming back, they could have played great together because again, Kyrie don't want to be a point guard. He wants to be a shooting guard. So it would have never really affect anything. You know what I mean? Being under a coach like Jason Kidd, I thought Dallas was the best fit for Lonzo in the offseason at least. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, what do you think, Fly? You think he could make his way to Dallas? You think Dallas would be a good fit for him?
Who Lonzo?
Yeah.
Uh, I'm trying to think. I don't know about Dallas
But
because
see, I was on the Dallas bandwagon. It
if they
like
rebuild, if they want to rebuild, like I said, I think Lonzo need to go. I think he still got time to do what he's doing now, where he want to bounce around from to teams that possibly have championship threats. But maybe a team, even in Chicago, I think he was kind of getting screwed around a little bit too. But he was playing a little bit more. But like I said, a team that where he can get.
What screwed them was that the fact that they went and got Giddy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that was like that.
So like that kind of like
Yeah, that took away a little bit. Now Giddy got to play.
now
You know what
Giddy
I'm
got to
saying?
play, so they couldn't really build back on Lonzo the way they wanted to.
Nah, they had insurance. At the end of the
Yeah,
day,
and then yeah,
Lonzo gets hurt. Shit, well, here you go. You're the poor man's Lonzo. So he could come in and basically when he was healthy, Lonzo was a triple double threat. A night. Now you see Giddy. He's a triple double threat. He's healthy.
yeah, and then you best believe he learned the 1 and 2. And then remember in Giddy interview when he got drafted, he said he looked up to watching Lonzo play ball, and he was also his favorite player, all that stuff like that. So you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's nothing. So they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. But and they gave up the right piece for the right, because Caruso, you see what he did over there. He basically single handedly helped them get out of that series with Denver, because the way he was guarding Jokic in that series, that last series was kind of what got them over. So they needed that Caruso, and so yeah, I think overall though, I think Lonzo still got a wave though. I think he got a nice phase.
Yeah, yeah, shit crazy out here, man. Kurt Lewis says Giddy is a a much better player than Zoe right now. Like I said, Josh Giddy is healthy right now.
But
Lonzo,
and that's to show you though, because even with everything Giddy had going on, they still invested in him. So I think that's to show you too, like
yeah, I'm not
pretty
gonna.
desperate.
Yeah, it's a mess. We got to see what they do though in Chicago. You got to remember when Lonzo was there, healthy before the injuries, where they was at. The Bulls, they kind of tailed off. They started off hot the first 4 or 5 games, and it all went to hell. When Lonzo was healthy, motherfuckers was in the MVP race.
Mm-hmm.
People was in the Executive of the Year race, Coach of the Year race.
He
Multiple
was.
All Stars in position. It was probably gonna be about 3 All Stars in that game for
It was
Chicago.
gonna be three. It was gonna be three, and
Maybe I
Lonzo
don't
would have.
know if Lonzo would have made it.
He would have.
But hopefully they would have put him there. But I could see them not doing that. They would have gave it to the three of them. I think they did all make it. I'm not sure.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Vucevic didn't make it.
I think Vucevic was the only one who didn't make it.
Yeah. But if Lonzo was healthy, he would have made sure all three of them was there. He would have been the one to sacrifice.
I think he would have won. He would have been the one to make it because you got to remember that year. You see who won. You see who won the Defense Player of the Year, right?
Yeah.
That year, Marcus Smart. That was Lonzo Award.
That would have been a good look if Lonzo could have made the All-Star team.
Lonzo was getting that Rookie of the Year that year, and the reason why I know that for a fact was because the way how he was leading in steals, he was averaging 5 steals a game or 4 steals a game in January as a guard. He was putting up, and you know what I mean. Marcus Smart kind of was second tier behind him, and he got the benefits of it.
Yeah. Kurt Lewis says Lonzo hasn't scored over 10 points in almost a month. But like I said, Lonzo do be impacting the game though. Like I said, he do a lot of the other stuff. It's another thing Lonzo do. When the shot don't fall, he just start doing everything else.
Lonzo's a great player.
Yeah, he do everything, getting rebounds, playing defense, going for the move. He just do everything else.
But Flight, since you're keeping it real, right? Let's keep it real quick. Do you see Lonzo having the Paul George effect?
What do you mean by that?
The podcast. You think that's probably part
Yeah,
of it?
I think I'm not a fan of any players doing podcasts, especially while you playing. You shouldn't be dropping new episodes in the middle of the season. You shouldn't. I'm not even a fan of Brunson and them doing it. I don't know. I think they do it too. I'm not a fan of it. So I don't want to make it seem like it's I just don't like it. Do it in the off season. I'm not saying don't do podcasting, period. But you should do it in the off season. Maybe have a team run it during the regular season, where you don't it's just not a good look. It's not. It's not a good look. It's not. It looks like you're not focused. It takes a lot of preparation to run a podcast.
You know who I seen do it that I thought was pretty cool, but he stopped a little bit. Well, I wasn't following him like that, but when Draymond was doing it after games, and he was doing it from his hotel and stuff, I thought that was pretty cool.
Right, he stopped doing it.
But
I think that during the season they usually stop.
Yeah, but he would do it certain games. After certain games, he would go to his hotel and do a little check-in. I certain stuff like that. I like that. I appreciated that. Cause that give us it give us a longer interview. Cause sometimes they don't ask the right questions. They don't, you know what I mean? So when Draymond, I used to like it. I ain't gonna lie. But that would be the only way I could get behind it. But y'all gotta be winning though. Y'all gotta be winning for real. Y'all gotta be coasting for me to be get behind something like that. Y'all gotta be coasting. Now, if not Shay, but J Dub was doing something you know what I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it because he got that comedian. Shay's too cool for school for that. I don't think Shay would be.
He's too cool.
He's too cool.
Yeah, like I said, them podcasts, man, is not a good look, man, unless you're gonna win the championship. It's only gonna be a good look if you win the whole thing. If you fall short, you have a bad game, it just look like, man, what the hell was you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Shit don't make sense.
But man, other than that, man, these Knicks and these teams out here doing their thing. You think Anthony Davis get traded though?
I think so. I think that is inevitable. I think that you got to eventually give the reins to Cooper Flag. It's still not even fair to him. When a rookie tries to walk into a team that has 1 foot in and 1 foot out, yeah, he does all right, but he should be the face of the franchise, undisputed, clear cut, no debate. Like let him completely develop. Let him make all the mistakes. Let him do it all. He's not able to do that because the Mavericks have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. They got him, but they also trying to salvage their whole situation because they let go of Luca, so they got Clay in there.
That's what I was getting at next.
Yeah, they're trying to still compete, but when they really need to just get behind Cooper Flag and wait till he develops into the face of the franchise, #1 superstar, and they get another draft pick on top of him. That's what but they're not doing that. I don't know what's that. They got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're gonna fuck around now and get a pick. I mean, that's
they got rid of Nico, so now the next step is to respectfully get rid of Anthony Davis.
Right, and Kyrie too. Unfortunately, you start just break it up.
Damn, Kyrie too.
Listen, it's time for a complete rebuild. You know what I'm saying? It's time to reset.
The reason why I get behind getting rid of Kyrie is because it won't fit Kyrie's timeline with Cooper Flag.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. So I will get behind that too.
Yeah, if you traded AD, Luka, Clay, they're next. I just personally feel like that's all in tandem. You trade Luka Page for some young players. Not Luka, you trade AD for young players.
If you trade Anthony if you trade in Clay, you got to get Austin Reeves.
That's what they're doing. I heard about AD going to Detroit. I was hearing about Jaden Ivey, maybe Stewart, something like that. That ain't bad. If you are Dallas to bring them pieces in. So I like that.
Yeah, and then you got Ivy keep him with the big man over there too.
Yeah, that'd be crazy if AD go to Detroit. That's a problem, especially for New York.
But I was hearing what you call it was gonna go over there too, Jokic.
Well, I don't know. That's a long shot. But I tell you what, Detroit gonna get somebody. I just hope it don't happen this season.
They were saying Jokic gonna go to a team like Chicago, Detroit, like a big market team. Boston. I heard Boston too.
Detroit needs something. They need something else. Detroit to me needs something else. It's something they missing.
That's crazy. I don't need that to happen this season. I need that next season. Knicks got to fall through this season. We got to be title contender next year.
Yeah.
But Knicks be the first to go and get a championship, the cup in the same season. Yeah.
What do you think about Mike Brown?
I like him. I love him.
I like Mike Brown too. Give him props.
And he's showing his shit because he's playing bench. Like you got your young boy, Tyler. Come on, bro. Like we would have never really come on, bro. Tibbs wasn't playing them boys like that. Them young boys like that. He wasn't gonna play them young boys like that. Rotations wise, like all that is cleaned up. Like the starters, like Brunson and them not even playing that much minutes. I love that for them. Cause now I want to there's no excuse. Like y'all well rested. Y'all should be ready for the playoffs, bro. Y'all should be ready.
Definitely. So they should be ready. Let's see what happens if Brown's a huge upgrade from Tibbs.
Yeah.
That's what everybody think.
I think so. I said that from the gate, but I never liked Tibbs though.
Never.
I never liked Tibbs for the Knicks. I'm not gonna lie. And I never liked Julius Randle for the Knicks neither. Respectfully, that whole little run I didn't like. The Brunson run when Brunson came in, I did feel like it was sounding like some nepotism stuff with the pops and all that. But then Brunson showed himself. Like he earned his spot. I love the Cat pickup. I'll be okay with the Giannis trade, right? For Cat. But OG can't go in that trade though.
No, hell no. You trade. Well,
you got to do either or.
Listen, it starts with Mikal Bridges, in my opinion. You traded 5 first-round picks for this guy. You got to flip this guy into Giannis. It's unfortunate, but he has to go. just because of the shit how they got him. We should have got way more for 5 first-round picks. So I think it start if you I don't know, man. You can't get rid of OG. You know what I'm keeping the way the Knicks playing, man. Just keep it intact, man. Keep it
That's what I
intact.
say too. I say the same.
Just keep it rolling. I mean, they rolling right now, and I like what's going on. Keep the fire on them. To have them thinking they'll be in Milwaukee tomorrow. Keep it going like this. This is why you're gonna get the best version of the Knicks because they all scared to death that they could be in Milwaukee. They're gonna be leaving New York. They'll be departing New York City. You think Karl Anthony Towns ready to leave? He got Jordan Woods sitting nice up there in New York. Come on, man. These guys ain't ready to leave New York. Oh, they playing for their lives. Trust me, they end up in Milwaukee. Oh man, shit. These dudes working overtime. They ain't trying to leave New York. Mikal, and you're gonna get Mikal's best product, and you're gonna get Cat because they know they the ones out of here. If it was to go down, especially Cat. Cat got the money. They the money work. So unfortunately you got to put these guys in the deal.
Yeah,
so I think for Giannis,
he got the position too. He got the position.
And Cat.
He got the position because I don't see Giannis and Cat playing together.
They got that other guard, Kolick. They got Kolick. See, the Knicks got to be careful. See, that's the thing why you shouldn't trade for Giannis. I think trading for Giannis is an old Knicks move.
Yeah.
They need to continue what they've been doing. You can't give up the farm for Giannis. Giannis got to help.
You gotta wait for Giannis to be a free agent and just walk.
That's a long time, but they're gonna need Giannis's help. They're gonna need Giannis to blatantly come out and say, "I only want to go to the Knicks." That's it. I'm not reporting. Well, I mean, you never know. You all gonna have teams that say, "Fuck you, I'm trading," because we've seen that before too. But I think it's gonna be a situation where Giannis. Giannis has to come out and blatantly say, I want to go to New York. And that way they have to deal with New York, and New York could kind of get a favorable deal where they don't give up the farm. Maybe they just got to give up Mikal and some other shit, and a bunch of the younger pieces.
Now they're going to have to give up. They're going to have to give up OG or
no, you can't give up OG. OG is off limits. Like I said, he doesn't prove to you these lies. He's off limits. OG can't. He's just untouchable. This motherfucker Brunson at this point. You cannot let go of OG. That's out. He is no way.
OG's playing like a young Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, you let go of Mikal. I think the way OG is playing, you could salvage Mikal. OG playing that good. That's okay. You might could let go of Mikal right here.
But the problem is they're gonna be the position. You're gonna have to get rid of Cat.
You can't. And another thing, you can't trade Mitchell Robinson.
You got to.
So that's what I'm saying. There's a couple people who's just New York DNA persona. You cannot lose Mitch.
If you're gonna
you cannot lose Mitchell Robinson.
Look,
you can't.
Look, if you're gonna make the trade, you got to trade Cat and Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then that moves Mitchell Robinson into an increased role. See, Mitchell Robinson's good on the bench. How do you know Mitch ready to play an increased role? That's the thing.
He could be your starting center with Giannis.
Yeah, but I mean, he better coming up. I think that's when you're gonna start dealing with injuries and all kind of shit. So, I mean, I like how they doing with Mitch.
You put a filler. But you could put a filler in as your power forward. I mean, as your center at that point.
That's true. I mean, it's
because you got Giannis. Because you got Giannis, right? Think about it. You got Giannis. You got OG, right? And then you Josh Hart at the guard, and then you got Brunson. You could put somebody at that center, like one of the young boys at the center, and have Mitch Robinson come off the bench still with your McBride, with your Clarkson. It won't do too much.
Right now, it won't do too much at all. I think it's a start. I think it's a start of something. Knicks got to win it all on point blank because I think it's the time.
Only two players that could go. It got to be Cat and Mikal. That's it.
This Detroit game is close. Detroit they came back.
Who they playing?
Dallas.
Oh, nice.
I just got a notification that they was down. They were up to. Detroit up to? Then how the hell did it go up? It was down. Last time I checked, it was down double digits.
Mm.
Man, but like I said, we're gonna see what's up with Detroit, man. If you get a quick preview on the Detroit Hornets game, how do you see that playing out? Because that's the next game for the Hornets Saturday, in Detroit. Who wins? Why do the Hornets have a chance?
Hornets always got a chance when it comes to with Lamelo, in my opinion. Because Lamelo is that great of a player, in my opinion. I'm sorry to say it like that, but he can be a Jordan. He got that Jordan effect, bro. That Steph Curry effect, where like if he's playing that good, his teammates is playing up to par, and if they all playing up to par, they could beat anybody.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. So we're about to get out of here in a second, but before we do, Belize, you're in New York. What's your thoughts on Max B coming home? What's your thoughts on that?
Yo, to be honest, man, like I was always down with the wave, so it's great for him to come home. I'm happy for him. I'm happy the way how they celebrating him. I'm happy the position they putting him in, meaning French. Shout out to my boy Kid Art. He from Harlem. He did that video for them. Like you know what I'm saying. Like that's dope stuff. Like they
Right.
really in tune with the people.
Yeah,
Like saying the real people. Like you know what I'm saying, and that's dope. Like yeah, bro. Shout out to Max B, bro. Shout
yeah.
out to
Look like you connecting the dots back with New York.
yeah, facts.
And then you got French back in the trenches. Like this shit don't make sense. It's like you got French
Real,
back. This just like
it's
that's
gonna
the
be real
era.
wavy because you
Good.
know
How Belize? How old are you, Belize?
for me I'm 35.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you know exactly what's going on with the wave.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so you know the wave. You know the wave.
yeah. I know the wave. I've been
Okay,
on.
I'm making sure you in tune with the
The,
wave.
I'm really you know what I mean in tune. I'm like literally like right up the block from you know what I mean.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, so you know exactly what's going on. Okay,
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure.
yeah, yeah. The
Okay.
hill, bro. I could tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm even in tune with the young boys K Flock. You know what I mean? His
Yeah,
whole
that's crazy what
situation.
happened with K Flock, man. He just got
Yo, bro,
sprayed.
that whole situation happened 2 blocks away from my house.
Oh my god.
Like, that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that, like, is yeah, that's Harlem for real. Harlem for real. I mean, it goes back to like, I'm not even on here trying to, I'll never do all that name dropping stuff, but you go Cardi B days all the way back to like high school. Like, you know what I'm saying? With her going to, she went out to, she went to Clinton. She went to Clinton out there
Yeah.
in Bronx and all that, over there, High Bridge areas and all that.
Mhm.
But, her Star was living up in Co-op, like, you know what I mean? All that Bronx stuff, all that, like, yeah, I've been around the whole wave, that whole era. That was my good old days, fun
Yeah,
days.
man. Shout out to Harlem, man. You
Shout
already
out
know
to all.
what it is. Harlem is definitely a special place. Shit, growing up, I spent a lot of time in Harlem. I used to go all the weekends. I used to go to my grandmother's house. She stayed.
Money ass, see, you don't
Yeah,
want
there's a Morningside Park right across the
yeah,
street.
yeah.
That felt like baby Central Park. I don't know if you know about Morningside Park. Going
Oh,
by,
told you that's Money Ave, bro. I
say
know
what?
they call that Money Ave.
Yeah, Money Ave. Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah, exactly what you talking about, bro.
yeah. So I spent time up there. Then of course Polo
Yeah,
155th.
155th.
Yeah, yeah,
Street from Rucker Park.
yeah. That's where teamwork from.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yep.
I spent a lot of time there growing up. Every time I went to Polo, I seen some shit I ain't never seen. You know what I mean? Yo,
Yeah.
growing up, like I said, I'm from Long Island. I'm from Hempstead. It's wild, but Polo, that's just
Yeah. Yeah.
that's like a fucking zoo.
Nah,
Bro, it's like I always see some wild shit when I went up there.
Polo different. Polo different for real.
Nigga,
That's
it's
that's back in them days.
expensive.
They used to throw niggas off those little roofs. You see how the niggas throw them off the roofs and shit back in them days, bro. Shit
Nigga,
crazy.
they doing wild shit, nigga. And them buildings like 30 stories, like 30, like fucking
And that
floor go
you
30
when you go up there,
stories.
you see the whole Yankee Stadium, bro. That should look nice though. I ain't gonna lie.
What
Polo,
Polo?
huh?
What Polo?
Yeah, on the roof of Polo. If you ever go on the roof of Polo
But
grounds,
yeah,
like
no, I ain't gonna lie. See, that's the thing. It's a nice. thing. Like even River Park Towers, like
Yep.
these are really nice situations, but it's just niggas done fucked it up.
Yeah, niggas done, you know what I mean?
River Park Towers is surrounded by water.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be like a paradise.
You got you see the whole the bridge, the Harlem
They're
Bridge.
supposed to be, oh, these niggas done fucked this whole situation up. That shit ain't supposed to be the way it is.
Yep.
But this New York City for you, man.
Yeah,
But I'm happy what's going on with New York, with especially
New York is hype right now, bro. If you like, I tell you right now, bro. Anybody, if you got time, come in the city. The city lit right now. Come see the Christmas tree, bro. Come ice skate. Come see Santa. Come sit on. You know what I mean? Come do the thing. Like it's the time to come to New York. Like for real, for real. Basketball is hot right now. Knicks is hot. Knicks games is hot right now. Tickets is expensive though. I ain't gonna lie, but
Yo, how much it costs just to get in the nosebleeds? They rip the
hey,
niggas off for that.
I was looking at the game for tomorrow. They play the 76ers, bro. Nosebleeds is looking at 280, bro.
Oh, that's why I said, shit, that ain't how you ain't getting in nowhere for nothing. Yo, down here in Atlanta, yo, you get in the building for like fucking $20.
That's what I'm saying.
You ain't getting no tickets like that in New York. Nowhere. Not at none of them venues.
Now,
None of them.
the only place you could get that is like low key
Barclays?
Barclays. You could go to Brooklyn and you could get some tickets for like $20, but you got to get them on the right games. Like you got to
Oh yeah, you know that.
like if they playing some,
You got to get anytime a good team comes, the
yeah,
price
up.
went up.
Like even like when they play the Knicks, right? The nosebleeds is gonna be like $100.
Yeah, because the tickets is in more demand.
But and that's the Knicks, like you know what I'm saying. So it's crazy. Like
Imagine the Lakers coming in there.
when they play the Lakers, ticket starts at like 150, 160.
Oh, yeah, I know it's gonna be crazy. I remember that's like how it was with down here in Atlanta when LeBron was on the Cavs. Like when LeBron came to the Cavs, the tickets went to like 200. I mean, when the Cavs was coming to Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
God damn, everything shit just shoot up. But yeah, it's cool, man. Shout out to the Garden, man. That's one of the best. That is the best arena in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that Garden is different.
There's no better place than Madison. There's something about the Garden. It's just nothing like no other stadium I've been in or
It's
arena.
different there. Everything is
It
different.
just felt like you're walking into a historic venue. The
Yeah,
smell, there's everything about the Garden. I don't know what it is.
yeah.
It's
Nice.
like you feel like there's something about being in the Garden, man.
Even if you could catch the Ranger game, if you could catch
Um,
concert at the Garden, bro.
Anything at the Garden, it's like that's the pinnacle. That's the pinnacle. It's hard to explain, but
Yeah,
anybody that never went inside Madison Square Garden, you have to go. You have to experience that building. And they did a lot of renovations. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think I've been to the Garden since I used to go to the Garden years when I was young, but I think when
the
Carmelo
last
came, the
concert.
prices skyrocketed. When Melo got to the Knicks, it was like that shit went through the roof.
Yeah,
It's like so. It's just I can only imagine, like similar to what's going on now. When the Knicks is trash, the tickets is kind of low. It's not stupid low, but it's low. You can
yeah.
get
Like I went to a Christmas game, 2 years ago, 2023. I went to the
yeah,
Christmas game when they played the 76ers. They lost, but you know what I'm saying. I went to that game, and that game wasn't too bad. Like you know what I'm saying. I had some solid seats. I ain't paid too much neither, but that was a Christmas game. Now this Christmas game, bro, ticket starts at $700 for nosebleeds.
yeah. Ooh, that's a trip. But
But,
yeah, man. Yeah,
but
Belize, man.
yeah, bro,
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you up too long, Belize.
I
I
appreciate
definitely,
it, bro. You know,
yeah,
always.
I appreciate you too. We got another big game pulling up Saturday. It's gonna be a good one. Make sure y'all tune in. Who knows? We may be pulling up tomorrow. Make sure you put the bell on the icon so you don't miss nothing. As we go live, as we put out videos, is paramount. Please make sure you hit the like button. Listen, I want to thank everybody who pulled up tonight. You already know what it is. Lamelo Ball, NB1, the one of one, went ape shit tonight. He put everybody on notice. He put the doubters. Everybody have to come to the altar and pay homage. I want to hear with Chandler Parsons, Michelle Beadle, Boogie Cousins, and these dudes, Lou Williams. These guys are making a living shitting on them. Not all of them, but they were making a living by saying viral things about Lamelo. A lot of these people come out and say these sick thoughts and viral shits about Lamelo just to grow their whole platform, whole network. You know, it's hideous. But I want to let y'all know something, man. It's Flight Sports. You know, y'all days are coming. You understand? Everybody will come back to the altar to pay homage. He said, Flight T. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Even Jeff T. That's another thing that nobody taught. These dudes are building their networks, you know, on just saying viral shit about LaMelo, just anything. Oh, man, LaMelo, he is just anything stupid. Now they got clicks for the next whatever. You know, these people need to be held accountable for this. You understand? At Flight Sports, we better start making these people held accountable once again. You already know what it is, y'all. It's Flight Sports TV. We back like we ain't never left. We've been watching games. The Ball brothers is back. LaMelo is back better than ever. Listen, Detroit Pistons, Charlotte Hornets this Saturday. Make sure you don't touch that dial. You already know what it is. It's Flight Sports TV. Make sure you hit the like button if you're new. Most definitely hit the subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.